hide their face somewhere. Many houses were completely shattered and made bankrupt, and the misery, the spell was of such a nature that even to meet such people, talking to me of the suffering they have gone through, whatever their saving of the lifetime gone down the drain, and even they borrowed money from some others for the sake of some apparently very ludicrous investment. But it was not ludicrous, it was ridiculous. And it resulted in such a ludicrous end that it was devastating. All sorts of gambling which are based on uncertain facts, where speculation can turn this way or that way, not as a regular system, but as an irregular, twisted system. That falls into the category of the forbidden, according to me. Right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Walaikum Salam. Where did you get this special cap from?
Assalamu alaikum, Manzoor. This is my winter cap.
Original?
Winter for the...
Winter cap?
Winter.
Winter cap.
Winter.
No, I didn't say whether it was summer cap or not. I know you will never wear it in summer.
No.
Or shouldn't at least. But I'm talking where, I'm asking you, where did you get it from?
Local tradition, wool shop.
Do the British people wear this cap?
Well, I'm trying to set a standard.
Huh?
I'm trying to set a standard by which people...
Don't mind it. It was just inquisitiveness which made me ask you a question.
I see.
Because normally, this type of hanging thing is attached to that red cap which is called Turkish cap. But
fez.
Instead of this long hanging material, normally such caps have a small protruding something over there,
Yes.
So that is why I asked, that is why I was intrigued. It was a different style. Anyway, it's okay. It becomes you all right.
I hope I don't lower the standard of questions some more. The question regards music.
Yes.
And the music industry. No doubt, obviously, aware of the influence of MTV and other satellite-based global music system, their influence. There are a few more coming on in the next 6 months, along the lines of MTV, and their influence is obviously quite huge. There's a lot of examples of positive usage for music in therapy and accelerated learning and things like that. I was wondering what our policy is on music and whether we can be...
The Ahmadiyya television will remain free of music.
Okay.
That's one thing. So don't waste your energy on planning musical programs.
Oh, no.
And as far as the people's interest goes, there is never a halfway thing between right and wrong. I assure you that if for the sake of winning people's attention we add music to the program, people will lose interest in this rather than have more attraction. Because the type of music we'll permit will be small, banal thing, which will be a sort of compromise. And they will say, what sort of shoddy music that is, belonging to the past ages. So they would rather turn to a modern televisions of pop music and this and that. Why should they come to MTA for that sort of music? You see?
Yeah.
This is like the attempt of some hakims who try to present bad tasting medicine with added sugar. And they mix sugar and some other things and call it gulkhan. And if you try to taste it, it's so obnoxious to your taste, it's so unpalatable. It's much better to have something very bitter and swallow it and have done with it than to start eating it, in large quantity, mixed with flower petals and sugar and this and that, and they say, this is the the best way of presenting the what's unsavory medicines which we have to prescribe for our patients. It doesn't work. The simple, honest system works. If something is bitter, you take it as a bitter thing and swallow it and have done with it. If something is sweet, and keep it sweet, don't add bitter things. Otherwise, something will happen which did happen once in Qadian. And I'm not going to name the person. But Hadhrat Mirza Tahir Ahmed Sahib himself told me this, that once he was passing through an office room, from his room he walked through the other room to the outer exit door. He saw some gentleman, very respectable, very highly educated person, eating some bread and some curry he had brought with. So he was having his lunch. And the bread was, with some butter applied over it. It looked like ghee and butter. We call it chupudi roti, So the bread was very attractive looking, with all that shine of the butter on top of it. So Hadhrat Mirza Tahir Ahmed Sahib thought he must be enjoying this lunch very much. So he stood by and said, out of, winning his favor, expressing his love for him and kindness, he said, could I have a mouthful of this bread, this wonderful bread you are eating? Please, just to find out how tasteful it is. So he took it and hid it on the other side. He said, no, I won't give it. Hadhrat Mirza Tahir told me he was so embarrassed, because normally this man was very respectful and loving to him, and suddenly he received the shock of being rejected outright. He said, no, not one mouthful. He said, I'm asking for just a small one mouthful. You can have the rest for yourself, only just to taste. He said, no, please don't insist. I'm not going to give you a single morsel out of it. He was astounded, but he wanted to find out why. He knew there was some other reason. He said, why are you doing it to me? He said, out of respect for you, out of love for you. I said, what do you mean? You're refusing me to, even a small piece of your bread, and you say out of love. What sort of love that is? He said, now I tell you the secret. The doctors have prescribed me cod liver oil. And it's so obnoxious to drink that. I can't take it in one mouthful. So I have applied it to my bread. I eat it mouthful after mouthful, slow poisoning, Imagine. There's no halfway thing. Right. Either you present music and all that goes with it, or you present something pure and simple. If people are interested in that, they would come, otherwise they won't. And I know from reports that more and more people are not only turning to Ahmadiyya television, but are getting addicted to it. I'm talking of non-Ahmadis. Even from Arabia. Jaswal Sahib received a call the other day, and he was amazed to hear somebody speaking from Jordan. He said, and he wrote it later on to him, I saw also the letter, which was faxed to him. He said, as you know, as if we were aware, that more and more Arabs are turning to MTA. So I seek your permission to publish your programs in my magazine, which is a magazine for providing facts of this and that nature. So please permit us to publish your future timetable. And he mentioned it as if it was already known to us. We had no knowledge of that. He said, as you know, more and more Arabs are turning to MTA. And then I keep receiving letters that once a non-Ahmadi starts seeing these programs, he becomes addicted. He can't turn to any other program. In one city of Pakistan, which is known for its hostility to Ahmadiyya, and that is not only one city, there are others of similar nature. I'm talking of one particular one.